when this draft is done. So draft number 2.
Yeah, so when you're winning, you're obviously gonna go with the same kind of strategy, or in a lot of cases, and the Bane elemental...
Bane Tusk, and then Doom Wisp.
It was actually EG banning out the Tusk last time.
But I'm not sure. Are you sure it was? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, Fnatic banned out.
Yeah, Fnatic banned out Doom and then the Bane elemental, while EG banned out the Tusk.
They're debating whether or not they want Slardar first, or Wisp first, or Tusk first, I would say. Actually, maybe not Tusk. I'd probably ban out the Tusk and then try to get one of Wisp or Queen.
It does do one of those awkward things though, because Chrissy is usually their Wisp player, right? So I'm
and
not
their
sure.
Tusk player.
Yeah, that's the weird thing, right? Is that the Fnatic move around. I'm not sure if that's good for them, right? If they do get their hands on the Wisp and then rotate things around and have Mushy go over to the mid lane and have Chrissy take over the support.
So if Fnatic is smart now, they're gonna go for the Tusk pickup, knowing that Evil Geniuses doesn't play the Wisp and might give Fnatic the Wisp for a second pick, or not at all. Huh. But they aren't as smart.
Not as smart as
So EG, what do they like here?
I feel like this is an obvious Tusk pickup for them.
Is it?
Yeah, they should.
I don't know.
They definitely should.
What about Slardar?
Slaughter's banned.
Tusk Undying.
I like Tusk Undying. I also like.
I'm still not sold on the Undying pickup. I like the Wind Ranger. If they do want to have an early PPD hero and make sure that he's at one of his most comfortable heroes.
Okay. Wind Ranger's good too.
Yeah, Winter Wyvern is good.
I also think that Ben is also on point where the Winter Wyvern, I know there's, like I've talked to a couple different pros and they feel like there's, at one point in time it was like, oh, Wyvern's a counter, right, to Wisp combinations, but then some of the pros felt like, okay, it's actually not that big of a counter as many people think it is.
Undying Wyvern, man.
I still think it's good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If they're looking at another support hero, a hero like Disruptor, I think they need to get it now because it'll probably be banned out if they don't commit to supports now.
I think there's better heroes though than Disruptor. He's like decent, but
we saw a Fnatic ban coming out on the Disruptor last game despite no Wisp.
Mm-hmm.
What about, have we talked about the Universe Darkseer? That's a potential like 1-2 viable hero.
Yeah, we haven't. I think it was banned out in the second phase last game.
Yeah, it was.
So EG going for the first pick, Shadow Fiend again. This time around they are on the Radiant side, however, so slightly better.
It's a tough matchup though, mid.
And an Undying again.
You have to go with the Undying. Undying is like so good versus Wisp. You turn that hero and like he has like 450 max HP and just instantly dies. So that's a no-brainer versus the Wisp. The Shadow Fiend is more like, okay, it's a comfort pick for them. I think you guys mentioned that you like the Wind Ranger a little bit more, but they are on Radiant, so you can kind of justify it. But I don't know. They still need someone to help them out in the mid lane because a well-played Wisp plus Tiny will destroy Shadow Fiend. Unless you use a stack for him.
Yeah, one of the key things about SF on Radiant side versus Wisp is the fact that you're able to keep up in farm against the enemy, you know, whatever the Wisp parent hero is going to be, oftentimes Tiny, right? He's able to clear through so many of those stacks. It's important that the SF is able to keep up in net worth and start tanking up. Otherwise, you could even see like the early Blink Dagger on Tiny, and he just abuses that hero before you pick up like SNY or Mech and have those kind of stats.
So you were saying Chrissy is playing the Wisp. Do you think PPD is aware of this and as such doesn't feel the need to ban out Tusk and potentially not even the Wind Ranger either?
Mushi can play Wind Ranger, so I would say, yeah, more likely so the Tusk.
Was the Darkseer ban coming out from EG themselves?
Yeah, once again, they actually ban away, they banned it away last time. So apparently they just really don't want to give Universe that hero.
You know, Clinks has one of the highest win rates this patch.
Yeah.
It's a good hero. It's hard to see his like impact in the game. Sometimes it's very obvious when he just completely takes control of the jungle, but other times it's like he does decently in his lane and he just like two-shots people.
Some of the most dominant performances Evil Geniuses put up before RTC joined was with the Clinks. When Fear roamed around with it, as soon as it hit that level 7.
Just before RTC joined was kind of redundant.
Wow, did you just write everything off?
Wow. I think there's also a lot of value in the Desolator in this patch. You saw a lot of heroes 6.84 and 6.85, Templar Assassin, Clinks, those kind of heroes that are able to pick up Desolator.
They let the Wyvern through. I thought they had to pick it up in the first phase because it wasn't going to get to the second. But
I'm a bit surprised with the Earthshaker.
Yeah, that doesn't fit.
Well, I like EG's draft a lot more this game.
Yeah. It's coming together also because Fnatic's picks aren't as obviously strong either. It's, you know, it's just a cookie cutter Wisp Tiny. The Beastmaster ban out I like a lot. Taking it away from Ohio, and it you know, later stages of the game combos well with Tiny. It also makes relocate even more potent because of the vision from the Hawk.
Whoa.
Oh, okay. And they're going for their other. Usually, it's like Shadow Demon plus Lina or Shadow Demon plus
Tidehunter.
plus the Mirana. Tidehunter. That's something new.
It makes so one of the strengths of Wisp obviously being relocate with the Tiny so that they can quickly outnumber the enemy. I feel like Tidehunter sort of nullifies these quick meetups that Fnatic can do because you just ravage and kill everything.
It's also just really good at limiting Tiny's damage. It's like incredibly good. You can take away like 120 damage with an Anchor Smash.
Yeah.
And because you know you're running dual lanes, it's very likely that the Tidehunter is going to have a decent lane, especially since they can potentially run something like Undying Tidehunter, which obviously is very unusual, but I think could give the Tidehunter the space he may need. Because the hardest thing about a Tidehunter is obviously his laning phase and making that work.
So this is classic Fnatic style. Tiny Whisper to mid lane, Shadow Demon +1, either the Mirana or the Lina in the safe lane to guarantee that combo. But it's not going to be that great versus the Tidehunter Undying, as you mentioned. I think that's actually a lane that can stand up to that brutal combo.
I think Tidehunter can definitely be the deciding factor in this game. He's really good up against all of the heroes on Fnatic right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of tankability in the lineup overall with the Winter Wyvern and the Undying. There's plenty of room created for the Shadow Fiend as well.
I don't know about you guys, but I actually feel like Clockwork should be the hero banned away by EG here. It's got to be one of those early aggressive offlaners that sets up tempo. I think Clockwork establishes a very firm catch on somebody to allow the Tiny Wisp to be able to follow up. Also sets up the Lina in many ways. So
I don't know. I like there's still a Tusk in the pool.
I think I like Tusk more. Clockwork is it's a little bit tough with the synergy with Tiny, just because you don't have any lockdown, so once they get BKBs, you can't use like Clockwork Cooking to relocate. On top of that, Tiny has mobility issues navigating the cogs. I prefer something that provides a lot more utility, just like gives them vision. It doesn't necessarily have to be an initiator, but they need to scout out where Evil Genius is on the map. They need to find a Tidehunter so they don't get owned by Ravage. They need to find out the Undying pretty early, and they need to just create space so that Tiny and Wisp can withstand this early game, I think, from the Undying.
Another hero like that would be Beastmaster, that actually gives you a lot of vision. It also gives you split pushing
Both the vision
possibilities.
heroes are banned, though. Beastmaster and
Oh, you're right.
Stalker.
I didn't see that.
So EG are looking for safe lane carry. Sven is not good. Anti-Mage, I guess, would be decent. Not that great for Shadow Demon or Lina, though. But it is a very common pickup. Juggernaut, I would actually think is...
I think, yeah, I like the Juggernaut pickup here.
Spectre, possibly, but that's not necessarily their style. I think Juggernaut is... There's only a few heroes that can actually not get relocated on without a Blink Dagger. There's Juggernaut, Lifestealer, and Anti-Mage.
I mean, Juggernaut can still be relocated on,
but not as easily as the other one.
Yeah. What I like about the Juggernaut is that if and when Evil Geniuses wins team fights, which they will do with an Undying Tidehunter lineup, okay, that's an Ember Spirit, makes sense,
too.
yeah.
Okay.
Again, a lot of comfortability picks from Evil Geniuses. They're really sticking to what they know that their players like playing. We don't see as much versatility as we could see from a lot of other teams in this tournament. Outside of the Tidehunter. But, I mean, let's be real. Tidehunter almost plays itself.
There's a skill cap to the hero. Decently high. Holding the Ravage.
Shield Ravage.
So an offlaner, they also have no catch for Ember Spirit unless Tiny gets a Blink Dagger, which is very worrisome. And on top of that, if they want to burst on the Ember Spirit, they have to get through the Tidehunter as well as the Winter Wyvern and the heal from the Undying, which is where you would really want an AA in their lineup, but there's no room for that. I don't know if they can switch their lanes up to do anything like unusual. Silencer is really good versus Tidehunter and Ember, but you don't see that often.
And there's the Tusk.
Yeah.
It's very expected pickup. I really don't see anything coming close to the strength of a Tusk for that pick.
Alright, thank you very much. We are almost ready for game number 2. Draft is complete. Tusk is the final pick. And we are ready to go down to our commentary team. Toby 1 and Synderen for game 2.
Thank you very much, Red. Yes, you can see me talking right here. Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome back to game number 2. EG going up against Fnatic. I am very lucky because I'm here with the Dane that could actually predict the last pick of EG. He knew it. You knew it was coming. You knew the Ember was coming as the last one.
I thought Ember was the obvious choice for them. They needed, first of all, a carry that had some sort of control. So the slight chains is great against Tiny. Fnatic have a difficult time landing a Lina stun on the Ember as well. They don't have great setup.
Yep.
And it's a comfort pick. I think Sumail plays one of the best Ember spirits in the world. So it seems like a pretty solid draft. I like EG's draft a lot more this game than I did in the last one with what they're up against.
Yeah.
I'm a really big fan of the Tide pick, which might be a little bit boring because I think the panel liked it a lot too. But with what they're up against, they made some really good points.
I'm interested to see how well the EG Tidehunter will work. I know the guys are saying if you're running a Tiny Wisp on the safe lane, if there's going to be a dual lane, then the Tidehunter is able to get a hell of a lot of farm because it takes away so much of the damage. But when you're running an SD as well as a Lina on the safe lane, it's a little bit more concerning. We should also flag this fact that it is Mushi over on the Lina. So this is in fact a core Lina in this game. So Mushi's back onto the core, and again we look towards the diversity of Fnatic. Can they just keep switching their players around like this? Are they comfortable in doing this? It looks like the answer is yes. DJ wants to play more Wisp than Mushi.
30 seconds to battle.
It's one of those greater good things where Mushi could try a lot to practice the IO, but I think he might practice a hell of a lot and still just not be as good as DJ on this hero, because DJ plays incredibly well, and it is very fundamentally different from heroes Mushi generally plays, and for me it's a strength if their team can just swap around like this on specific heroes if they find the need to do it. Oh, Universe, this is really, really bad if this happens. He can't let this happen. He can't let this happen.
Head is down, Universe. He's trapped up here with a whole bunch of mangoes, but this is an absolute disastrous start for EG.
DJ just needs to control this area so the courier doesn't reach Universe, and EG won't have a safe lane for a very long time right now.
The courier's coming. The courier is coming with the TP scroll, but as she said, DJ just waits it out. DJ's also managed to pick up that early bottle, so moving back and forward, it's a pretty simple task. There's no stuns available. This means Ohio gets such a free lane on bottom. Now the courier's coming. They're leaving this dire courier. Actually, no, they're not. They're just going to let him TP out. They're going to let him come back to the lane because DJ's leaving. DJ's in fact coming up because EG are running an aggro lane. And in fact, now Universe arrives in the bottom lane. I'm wondering how long it's going to take until Fnatic wish to switch this up. Because they wanted to have the SD as well as the Lina up against the Tidehunter, not the Tusker. This is not the dream for Ohio. And with the added pressure on top lane, Mushi, he's getting burnt down so much. Fear goes for these heavy decays. The disruption, Mushi is able to salve himself up. And EG will be forced back a little bit further here.
And this lane for EG gets incredibly strong when they get level 3. Getting the 2 points into what I'm guessing will be Searing Chains at that point, or maybe the Flame Guard if he thinks it's useful. 2 points in Tombstone if he goes that way, or a point in Soul Ribbon, a point in Tombstone, and maybe most importantly 2 points in Splinter Blast, which I think is what PPD will be looking for. It's just going to set up so much slow and burst damage that Fnatic will have a hard time dealing with.
That they will. But Fnatic still got to be really happy with their start. Even if you are running a Tidehunter safe lane, getting cliffed like that just gave Ohio the strength. Now, they don't actually have to switch out the top lane. He's able to find the CS, gets an early stick, and just goes from there. Black and DJ, because they also got the bottle. DJ's going to go down for that rune. And they also know that Universe won't be able to leave this lane, so it's a guaranteed bottom rune every single time for DJ. Black can be a lot more liberal with his abilities due to this.
And there's always the option for IO to rotate bottom. Whenever he's going for a rune like this, it's a very quick play to jump onto Ohio and look for that kill. So Universe can't just... He needs to keep half an eye on that rune every single time to have an idea what's going on.
Interesting to see the fact that you're talking about this combo that you get from EG, where you have the Tombstone. Yeah, they're going on Mushi again, but Ned's got defensive disruption if they want it, but instead they go aggressive. Light Strike Array will connect on PPD, and they'll inflict some decent damage onto him and just force him back off the lane while Sumail puts on the Flame Guard. Mushi, he's burning out. In fact, he'll die here. Sumail will take the first blood. Ned's looking for the revenge. With the attack from the tower, he's going to have enough. So it's a 1-for-1 trade-off. Sumail does take first blood, but gives away his life for the blood.
That's totally worth it if you're Sumail. Getting the first blood on a carry is always great. But the fact that he kills the Lina for it as well, all of this golden experience onto net, it's good, but it's not that dangerous for EG in this top lane.
Bottom lane. Looks like Ohio's going to go for the regenerating kind of style with the bottle run for the Tusker. This means that Fnatic, like DJ as well as Black, will have to look towards the top lane a little bit more. Because Ohio will want to take that bottom rune every single time, if it's possible.
I think this is the right choice on the Tusk. I think in general, Bottle is such an incredibly useful item on a hero that has these high mana costs and wants to be as active as Tusk generally wants. This is not going to be the off-lane Darkseer style where you just stand in your lane for 10 minutes and keep pushing in waves. Ohio will start TPing and moving around as soon as possible. Because he's also not scared of leaving a Tidehunter alone. Like, what's the cost? Tidehunter can't push a tower. Tidehunter will still get farm if you're in the lane, so there's a lot of potential for him in moving in. Exactly like you said, now Fnatic are trying for both runes.
Yeah, and Ned's also making his way down, so they're able to ensure this rune control too.
This is textbook play by Fnatic again. I'm very positively surprised with them so far in this series.
It does start to beg the question now. So Fnatic are playing really well. EG, they didn't get to set the tempo of the last game, so we don't really get to see how their lineup is going to work when they actually have a lot more things to work with, aka Ravage, having an Ember Spirit with higher levels, so he's having his Searing Chains time. PPD once he finds levels as well. Speaking of that, middle lane, he wants to try and get a little bit more of it with the Splinter Blast, hitting Black pretty hard, but DJ had a lot of stick charges up his sleeve, giving Black a lot of life back again. And you rotate both the supports off the top lane. Fear came a long time ago, but they combine with Arteezy. But they don't gain anything really from it. In fact, Net now tries to force Samael off this top lane.
And there's one thing to keep in mind about this matchup, actually, Shadow Demon against Ember. You can purge Flame Guard. And that is going to be playing a role. Shadow Demon is actually great against the Ember. You purge Flame Guard, and when you're throwing out the Fire Remnants, they move at the minimum move speed. So Net getting a fast level 6 could be very important.
They're going
here.
on Samael. Mushi,
That's a big loss.
He's way too early. PPD's around the corner as well, and Mushi, he's trying to stand his ground here. He knows he's dead, and they might actually be losing Net as well. EG, this is the dream right now if Samael can pick up 2 kills, and in fact, the last one goes to the Winter Wyvern. A little bit of extra cash coming in there for PPD. And the safe lane of Fnatic crumbles a little bit.
That's just a very costly misplay. If that stun lands, they don't kill Samael there. He won't die. But I think they would have stayed alive, because when the stun lands and they realize, okay, this is not going the way we wanted it to, they can maybe try for a retreat since Samael wasn't level 6. And now he's just very, very far ahead in this top lane. EG with a great gold lead so far. Like, all of their lanes are actually winning on net worth. Their 3 cores have the highest net worth in the game. That is despite Fnatic having better rune control.
Yeah. Samael almost able to steal that one, but DJ does still pick it up in the end. We have to keep in mind that, actually, maybe the bigger question is going to be, how much should EG be gaining in this early part of the game before the tiny Wisp start relocating in to force out engagements? How much do they need before Tusker also starts his rotation? Are these kills with Samael really going to be enough to keep the momentum they've currently gained?
I think so. For me, this is not it's not similar to the last game at all. If the gold is even, I think EG are in a good position this time around. There's no very clear favorite in teamfights, but they have the tools they need this time around, and a lot of it, for me, comes back to the Tidehunter. Having the Anchor Smash that the panel talked about.
Stealing. Where's the TP support going to come in? Fear is up here as well. They'll drop down the Tombstone. Ohio just going to sharp block it in. So Arteezy's forced to stand here. They get rid of the Tombstone nice and quickly as Fear, and he got Walrus punched up. And he'll lose his life, but if they don't lose Arteezy, it's fine. But Universe, he's going up, he's got Ravage available. DJ Mushi, they're trying to get back out of here. The Tuskar Snowball will come through, tagging up 3. Ohio sacrifices himself, understanding that rotation was just too much to deal with. Arteezy gets the last hit, maximum Soul Snap for his level 3 Necromastery. And 4-2 on the board for EG.
They're ramping up a really significant lead right now. Stealing that stack for Arteezy is huge, because the mid lane it was going fine. Like, he had good farm, considering he's against IO Tiny in particular. He had great farm, but stealing away that stack and knowing that he has a jungle of his own as well.
Oh, they're coming in. There's a tether back up again, but Black currently Searing Chains. Splinter Blast going to do a little bit of chip damage. As EG, while Ravage is up, they're forcing the issue against Fnatic. It really isn't like last game. Fnatic are forced to fight into EG. Move forward. Samael's making that a little bit more aggression. There's no Sleight of Fist, so we can't get the range Searing Chains. It's not possible for him. Fnatic just lets the tower go. They're allowing Ned to get that farm up on the top lane.
Now they lose 2 runes as well.
That's not the dream. Maybe Ohio and Wishy can find that, however, because Fear and Universe are rotating up. So on bottom lane, they got the opportunity to get a good line strike array. And in fact, they just focus on Fear. The Ravage will go off, but Undying is already down for the count. Mushy, he didn't actually have to use his Laguna Blade. So that burst damage is still available. They're rotating more heroes down, but Arteezy is arriving. Mushy getting gushed up. They need to control him, and the SD doing that, but it means the light strike array won't be able to connect in Ohio. Cops 1 raise. There's still that max range one as well. And this snowball, it only prolongs the inevitable. And Ohio will end up going down, and Universe picks up the double kill in this lane.
Communication between Net and Mushi doesn't seem to be particularly good so far in this game. It's the second time they missed their... Oh, this time they didn't try to combo it, but they went for the same play at the same target. And Mushi, if that stun lands on one of the other heroes, he actually has time to get a Laguna off, and things might have looked a bit different. But... Another good fight for EG. They're up 6-3. They're starting to put more pressure on the map. This time around, they have the farm. This time, Sumail is also pushing top. This has the potential to become a very one-sided game.
It really does. If you look at the top 3 net worths right now, it belongs to SF, Tide, as well as Ember, respectively.
Dire's bottom tower.
Ember's still going to need to get a little bit more space so we can finish up this Battle Fury, but you're 9 minutes in, your offlane Ember hasn't... Oh, well, he's died once, there's 2 kills to his name, however, and Ohio trying to get aggressive on Sumail. Very difficult to do. He knows he can't find the kill because Sumail's got a defensive spirit. The Observer Ward, which is sitting on that top lane, is scouting that out for Fnatic. So all he can do is just try and create a little bit of space, and that space is created by now pushing Mushi to the bottom lane. The SD hovering behind him.
And Fnatic, what they're going to need here is a blink on black, I think. Going for a standard farming tiny build in this game, I don't think is going to cut it. They will be forced to fight by EG.
They're coming in. They find Sumail. Avalanche toss going to go to work. As, well, Rune on the deck. Sumail dropping very, very low. That snowball's going to chase him up, but another defensive spirit for Sumail is going to do the work. Universe already with the mech. Like, this is a guy who got clipped at the 0-minute mark.
I'm surprised they didn't try to counter that courier a bit more. I understand that the IO wanted to go mid and help out the Tiny, but on the first very few levels, Tiny should actually be okay against SF. And if you shut out that Tide for 2 minutes, he can lose bottom lane. But instead, they kind of let Universe get back into it. That could have been a complete disaster for them, but...
I agree.
Of course, you're also sacrificing your IO. It's not like it doesn't cost anything. Then your IO is standing there, basically point guarding the river.
But then you also ask the question, is IO up against the SF really... Is he more than just a regeneration for the Tiny to throw at Avalanche and tosses? Because they tried to go for the toss.
Have that big of an impact there.
They tried to do the toss back positioning. They left the IO up on the hillside and then just tried to go for that toss. But every single time, Arteezy read the situation perfectly. He backed up, made sure that that initiation from Black wasn't available. And now I'm also looking at like double bottles being used. As DJ relocate is up. And my eyes turn to bottom lane at this point. There's only a Dire Observe Ward down here. There's not one for the Radiant side.
They can't relocate on this. It's complete suicide relocating into Tidehunter, Wyvern with ultimate and a Tombstone.
It's Mech Ravage into Requiem.
This tower is gone. I really don't think they should be trying for it. Instead, they're pressuring Sumail.
Like DJ, like Black's not really in a position where he wants to fight. In fact, he sees Sumail. Is he going to get the stun? No, he doesn't. In fact, yeah, you're right. Fnatic will be giving up this bottom tier 1 tower. They get a little bit of damage into the tier 1 tower in mid and a little bit of damage onto the tier 1 on top. But then with the Searing Chains, DJ, he can't get himself away from this one. Black was too close, so the tether doesn't drag him away.
This is the second tower lost. This top tower is going to go down as well. EG TP up their key heroes. The only one they're missing is Arteezy, who does have a TP, so he can go up there if he wants. He's just grabbing the rune on the way. And maybe they feel like they don't even need to commit him to that. He's going to go bottom.
With the Wisp down, and he knows that the Tidehunter is still the intimidation factor, Fnatic won't fight into that. Sumail already does more than enough damage by himself. They really don't need the SF.
And Arteezy's sitting on an Invis rune. He can try to use it to get a Requiem kill bottom, and it looks like he will do exactly that. It is level 1 Requiem, but these heroes have like no health.
Yeah. Both Lina and SD would just, even if the Requiem doesn't kill him, a quick raise after that will do the work. And here comes Arteezy. Wind her up and let it go. Mushi, loses half of his life from the Requiem and then a double, not even a double, just a 1 raise. And the attacks from Arteezy, they just hit so hard into net. Tusker is forced to snowball himself in. They actually lock up Arteezy. They don't have enough damage. The poison's sticking away, but now the Spirit's jump forward from Smell, and that's only keeping himself out. So Ohio's got no grounds to keep the initiation going. He has to back up to his own tier 2 tower.
And this time Arteezy rushes the BKB. So this is just EG looking to take 5-man right now. Maul down towers, and in contrast to last game, this time they're going to get those fights. So they don't need to worry about any. Like, the Fnatic, they honestly can't kill EG. This is one of those classic games. It kind of gives you flashbacks to the drafts that EG had where they went like Treant, and then Dragon Knight and Abaddon or something. Or no, not Abaddon and Treant, but you know those kind of lineups they used to run. It's the same feeling, but with a completely different lineup. This time it's the Tidehunter that enables them to play this way.
And you can see Fnatic just battening down the hatches. They understand they're not going to win these early fights, and Black's building for the Aghanim Scepter on this Tiny as his first major item. So it's not the Blink Dagger you're looking for.
I don't think that's going to cut it at all.
But what's the Blink Dagger going to do as well? Like, you want him to initiate into a team where we're already saying, like, you can't win this fight. So do you just wait it and try and punish EG when they push high ground? And if they don't, just relocate down, try and take out tier 1 towers, or grab favorable fights when you can get the vision advantage.
Well, there are two ways of looking at it. The one is we can't team fight, so we have to start split pushing and farming with Black and get an Axe to try to keep up the pressure and be able to take towers fast enough. The other one is if we get a blink, the moment Sumail is split pushing, like, it disallows EG from playing with it forces them to bunch up all the time then. If they want to take towers. That might not be desirable enough either.
Mushi as well as Net. Net just did the funnest juke I've seen in a while. Just looping around while Sumail had vision, because the observer ward was down. It now times out in the middle lane, so Sumail won't have that vision again. But Mushi also was just hiding in the tree line, and he's creep skipping out the top. So Ohio tries to stop Arteezy in this push. Mushi will take out the creep wave in a moment. And in fact, yep, Arteezy is forced back, and now they reveal Mushi. ETP's out. They are just trying to buy time for Black to come online.
Phase boots on Lina. That's been a while since I saw that. Interesting.
She needs to be a physical DPSer from range. Needs to keep a distance as well from that Tidehunter. At the same time, like... Yeah.
It's hard to keep your distance from Ember. If you get caught here, you're just dead.
Yeah. I'm also trying to think, like, how do you keep your distance from a Tidehunter as well? That Ravage area is going to be so big, and at this rate, Tide's going to have a Blink Dagger by 20 minutes.
I think by 17. He just needs 1.5 waves. Universe is getting great farm. He's still sitting third on net worth. Of course, Arteezy, the big leader so far on Shadow Fiend. Radiant uncontested, more or less. 130 CS, minute 16. Not bad.
He's sitting at 9k net worth 16 minutes into the game. Like, overall, there's actually an 8k net worth going the way of EG. About 5.5 to 6k worth of experience. And now EG, they're going to try and capitalize on their position. If Fnatic refuse to fight them, then go for the big guy. Go for Roshan. It doesn't help when Sumail gets bashed like that and loses half of his life. But he does have a DD rune, and now he's going to pick up a regeneration as well. So, does Fnatic even try and stop this? Like, you can Whisper it down. Potentially Black can avalanche in and cause some issues.
Oh, good damage from those spirits. Forces out the mech and soul rip. That's pretty significant. This is a minute without that mech. Now they could have a chance at it. I think they're going to try.
Spirits are up again.
Tombstone.
DJ's going to go for the range, and yeah, the Tombstone defensive just up on the hillside. The Observer Ward's going to allow them to try and kill this off before the... okay, no, there's no fight. Roshan is going to be taken. There's nothing that will really stop this, and the Tombstone cannot be taken out by DJ.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The top tier 1 tower still took decent damage, and Mushi needed that time. He's very happy that Sumail's Fistirian Chin is going to miss, because he's 3 gold away from completing his Yule Scepter. So another thing to dispel that Ember Spirit Flame Guard.
Exactly, they have a second purge for that now. But it still leaves so much left to be desired for Fnatic. I think the only way they win this game is if Black gets, like, absolutely huge. Yeah. And it's difficult to see him overtaking the EG heroes in terms of farm rate unless if they get a couple of kills going his way. And EG just haven't been making the mistakes this game.
Well, can they win the split push game then? Like, you look towards the Wisp, relocate with an Aghanim Tani, you take out the tier 1 towers. Is that going to be enough?
Sumail.
Yeah, this could be a big one. Sumail Laguna Blade. That's a quick pick. The relocate came in from DJ and Black, but this might actually put them in more trouble because Arteezy on bottom lane. He's going to wind up the Requiem. No, he's waiting for them all as the relocate. It's only going to be DJ now. Arteezy. Boom! Okay, Ethereal Being, be no more.
That was really good timing from Arteezy on that. And of course, the thing that did kill Sumail there was the reveal of the Blink Dagger from Ohio that he wasn't expecting. So got caught off guard, they get that one key kill which turns into a tower. But with the response from EG, it's not even a win.
Yep.
Radiant's top tower.
Like, maybe they can add a little bit more pressure, like, Fnatic to that top tier 2 tower, but they're gonna lose this one on the bottom. There's no reason to blow the fortification for it.
Bottom tower has
And
fallen.
Black, like, if this Aghanim's was up, maybe they could do more damage to this tier 2 tower, to have that increased damage into the toss, as well as just that basic upgrade against the buildings that Tiny gets. So, it's flying out in the Kuri at the moment. So Black has his Aghanims 18 minutes into the game. That's not too shabby.
Oh, Universe really on the hunt here.
High's going to keep him back. Actually popping the Sigil for this too. Creep Wave gives him the vision. They'll notice that Sumail is also on this top lane. But EG sees so much, they're aggressive observer wars. There's one just below the tier 2 tower of Fnatic on the top lane, which sees most of the rotation of Fnatic inside the jungle. And then they've got another 2 observer wards. One on the cliffside above Roshan and the other one on the secret shop. So they understand when Fnatic are getting new items. And they also understand when Fnatic are farming. So they will normally, apart from the surprising Blink Dagger on the Tusker, be ready for what Fnatic will throw at them.
Look at Black. How often do you see a level 9 Tiny with eggs?
Not often.
Oh man, he's having a really hard time this game getting experience. It's interesting that he's managed to find the gold though, so the CS is still okay for him, but it goes to show that they haven't had fights, because around this time you're usually at least level 11 on the Tiny just from the experience from hero kills, but he has 1 assist. 20-minute game with Tiny. Very unusual for Fnatic, and as we saw in the stats earlier, Black is 8-0 with this hero in this, I think it was this patch or on Fnatic. And as it looks right now, might be cashing in his first loss at this rate.
Maybe.
Is under attack.
Gonna need a big play to come back in
He's
this.
getting out. Like, he's gonna run away right now. EG already started the rotation. This is where, like, this is the point where I was wondering if Fnatic can start to do more across the map. Understanding that they've only got the tier 2 tower in mid as well as top. EG have to commit significantly to try and take these things out, but you just keep the split push farming going. You keep Black, the Tiny, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. As long as you can keep him farming and moving from these positions, then you're good, but these observer wars that we're talking about before being planted makes it so they instantly see Black. DJ's trying to relocate him back out again, but Universe understands this, so Black, okay, the curse has to be used to save him. DJ will end up dying as Black does some damage, but he knows he's down. Arteezy with the raise will finish the job. And
Very good read from Universe. He knew the relocate attempt was going to be coming out, so he just disallows the IO from even trying for it. Two additional kills for EG, which I think transitioned into a tier 2 mid. Fnatic just can't find space. That's the real issue.
Yeah. They're trying to create it, however. Sumail, missing a little bit there with his Searing Chains. Actually, no, he didn't use it. He just went the Sleight of Fist with a double damage rune. Even that just took off a large amount of life of Ohio, who TP's back out to safety.
Structures are fortified.
It's that Battle Fury that Sumail already has. I think he's had it for a couple of minutes, so very high farming rate now. Unlocked for the Ember Spirit.
I better catch up to Arteezy. He's just going pure tank,
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
because you're getting him into the Skadi builds shortly.
That's what it looks like. It's a really good choice against Tiny lineups, and of course, knowing that you're also playing against Soulcatcher, you need to be able to sustain all the bursts. And if you have a Skadi, you should be able to buy enough time to at least get mech'd. Like, there's Mech, Soul Rip, and Cold Embrace. And if 2 of those go onto him, they can't kill
He's
him.
going Lincolns.
Dire's top tower.
He's got a
Alright.
he's got a Perseverance.
That's... What's this really key against? There's the
SD.
Demonic Purge or Disruption. There's nothing else it blocks here, right? That's really... Oh, Laguna Blade. That's
No.
really good, because there's no, like...
It also stops him from being used.
That's true.
So
or the
it's
Yules.
a guaranteed BKB, but Arteezy probably wouldn't care too much about that because he'd back himself to get the BKB off before he hits the deck with the Yules. Or when he hits the deck with the Yules.
It's really good because there's no, like, obvious Lincoln's counter in the game. There's not one of those spells you could just throw and be like, whatever, like, let's say Viscous Nasal Goo or something. So Arteezy will block a key ability with this.
Sumail going for aggression as his next item, the Blink Dagger for the Ember Spirit.
Oh, Black.
Yeah, he's in a world of hurt, but he's also bait. Like, you know he's bait. Mushi sitting back. This Observer Ward doesn't actually scout out either Mushi or DJ. But it won't matter at this point. Because they're not going to keep the bait going.
I think this is one of the most defensive item builds I've ever seen Arteezy go in Shadow Fiend. Blink, Linken's, and BKB. And of course the Ring of Aquila, which is standard nowadays. But I think it's a great choice this game.
It works for him. And after the upsetting game 1, they need stability more than anything else. And Arteezy, yep, that's a deep toss. And Arteezy, BKB wind up, the Walrus Punch will cancel the ulti. They have enough damage. Okay, with the snowball protection, they may have enough. With the snowball went over to Samel. It didn't go over towards Arteezy, but they might pick up both. In fact, Fnatic will do so. Mushi doing his work, taking Universe out of this fight. We haven't seen the Meg or the Ravage do anything. In fact, Black is still standing in the front round. Ohio blinks for Universe. Now he goes to the Meg. The Sora brings his life back up again, and they're going to cold embrace Universe up. Ohio a little bit too close off that snowball, but Fnatic, 2 huge kills. Both Samael as well as Arteezy going down.
Man, that's so much gold they got right there. The 2 best kills they could get. That toss play, I'm not going to say put Fnatic back in a good position in the game because they're still really far behind, but it was kind of a heaven-sent opportunity for Black to even be able to ever get that.
It's a relocate.
Yeah,
they're just going to take the tower as well on bottom lane. This money injection for Black, it allows him to have so much. He's almost 4,000 gold. Okay, DJ, is he leave? No, he's not.
No.
They're going to tether and take him back. But what does Black now go? Okay, you're thinking about this. You got Nag and Scepter up. You got a huge amount of gold. How do you help your team win the fights against EG? That's kind of what Tiny has to do. And it looks like SMY on Manta is going to be his choice.
I think Manta is good against the chains. It will allow him some freedom of movement. Of course, help them a lot with the pushing power and the farming rate with the mobility. The other thing I was considering was, will he go for a BKB and will they try to take the fight, or just go straight AC and split push and farm as fast as you can? This is kind of the best of both worlds, I guess, in this situation right now. So
Arteezy should be aware of what just happened. Fnatic smoked underneath an observer ward in the mid lane, and Arteezy farms at the wave, backs up, and Ohio was really counting on the fact Arteezy would stick around a little bit longer. But because of that smoke signal, they decided to back it up. And yeah, Fnatic realized they threw down a sentry ward thinking that maybe there's knobs watching the positioning of Ohio, but it's not the case. Fnatic have actually been really unlucky with their D warning.
Black, they're going to try for him.
Yep, and they got him. Like, unless this relocate save kicks in and Black, well, it needs to come, but DJ, he's just going to TP out. He doesn't actually have relocate. It's still on cooldown.
Wait, what?
Yep, he was sitting there that aggressive without relocate off cooldown.
Alright, that was... I think that might have caught himself by surprise, too. The entire way they set up that push for the last 20 seconds was screaming relocate to me. And maybe they just thought, either they thought it was going to get ready before the play came in from EG, or he just messed up. That's a really big loss. That's Roche.
It's that miscommunication. We saw it earlier on before, and now we see it again. The coordination of Fnatic, it worked during the last game. Everyone was able to function as a team, but in this game, when the timing has to be a little bit more on point, it's not working their way. But now it's going to be EG. Quick and easy taker for a shun. Fnatic aren't in position to stop this. In fact, Samel, well, he found Mushi. The BKB is up, and he just TPs himself away to safety.
So there's a BKB charge as well. It's Roche. Samel is just split pushing, doesn't even need to join the fight. Really, really big win for EG, finding that pick on Tiny with just... If they tried for that 5 seconds later, it wouldn't have happened. Just set them up very nicely to, once again, get very much so back in the driver's seat.
Yep. We talk about defensive builds coming out from Arteezy. With an Aegis the Immortal behind him, it's so difficult to kill off this SF. And with also almost 2,400 gold up his sleeve, Arteezy can now look towards his damage healing item. And that begs the question, do you just go for the Daedalus now? Like, in the previous game SF, it was that movement, you had to go in for the Monkey King bar because you're up against a Wind Ranger. Now, you're not thinking about Tiny picking up a Butterfly, you're not thinking about all the evasion. You can just get this quick pop. With a Daedalus, it's almost a 1-2 hit to kill off the Wisp. Bottom lane, Samel. Jumping onto that Lina. Defensive heal set from Mushi. Gonna trigger these space, but still no BKB. And with a curse and the Ravage and the Spirits forward, Fnatic are gonna lose big here.
Oh, he denied Mushi. What?
Wait, really?
That's pretty sick. Wait, oh, it's a bug, right? He was Winter's Cursed?
I believe so.
Yeah, that bug still exists. Like, PPD is supposed to get credit for that kill. I'm not sure what triggered that, but that should definitely be a bug.
Well, bug or not, Deny or not, Fnatic, they're still going to lose their mid ranks. They push out the top quite nicely. In fact, Black is attacking into this tier 3 tower. So Fnatic, they have managed to bring it down on most of the EG creep wave. And in fact, Samel's going to TP back. He's trying to fend this. The relocate save has to kick in. And Black trying to get aggressive on Samel. Beats down the creep wave, but the side of fist, DJ, get him out of there. Have to defend in 12 seconds time. There goes your relocate. Takes him all the way back to the well. And Arteezy, he's about to finish off this melee racks. Able to do so. And EG don't really lose too much on the top lane. Like the top tower's down by half life, but he just took out a mid tier 3 as well as the racks and leaving Observe Ward behind.
Oh, Mushi! I thought they were actually going to try to commit on this, but I guess, yeah, they have neither of their stuns available on those two heroes there, so safe enough for now.
They're still waiting for it. They got no Ravage available. Laguna Blade, okay, that's one way to do it, Mushi. Use Yule Step to trigger off Lincoln Spear so he can Laguna Blade Arteezy down, but PPD just gives him... Actually, that's not even his.
Success baited earn charge.
This maybe.
Okay. That was interesting.
Without that burst damage, now SF feels so confident.
I don't know if he felt forced to try to threaten Arteezy away from the tower in that situation, so just Lagunas him to strike fear into his heart and get him back, but, I mean... Well, he bought 10 seconds and Arteezy's already looking up there again.
I'm looking towards top lane as well, Samel. If he can keep Black here, then the rest of EG can attack. He's assuming that DJ's going to be somewhere behind him, but DJ's a long way behind. Yeah, Arteezy will be allowed to come up. There's your Sentry Ward. Finally, they can get rid of that OBS. So EG can stop watching all of Fnatic's movements.
I'm wondering if Black at this point goes AC instead of the Manta. I think it's not going to cut it. The way the game developed over the last 4 minutes, I feel like doesn't allow him to get the Manta now. He has to get that big item.
It's not unnatural for Tiny to go casual Yasha.
No, absolutely not. It's a good item. There we go, EG.
Here we go again. So EG forcing at the bottom lane. This time, Ravage is up. And Mushi's a long way forward. Arteezy just stands there, and now he looks for the damage into Mushi. Blinks himself forward. The BKB will not protect Mushi. However, Disruption Catcher from Net keeps Arteezy out of the action for now. And with the Purge as well, Arteezy's got to be careful. He'll get necked, he'll get Soul Rip. Black moves forward, toss the Fallible. He wants to pull Arteezy back, but now you see the damage. The BKB protects Black. Arteezy wants to jump forward. He actually gets Crackled up, and now gets tossed and killed. There is the Aegis Immortal, which will give him a second life. And Samel moving forward, trying to control up Mushi, but Ohio with a Walrus Punch. There's still no Ravage. We have to keep this in mind. Arteezy doesn't hit anything with the Requiem, apart from a little bit of a chip on Net in the sideline. The Snowball protecting Ohio, and he moves forward, but he does not want to go into this. Black getting cursed up. Fnatic are losing too many players too quickly, and Samel, they can just do the work. Black will get a little bit of revenge, but even the double kill, like, it's allowing for some buybacks to arrive. And Mushi, he tries to Laguna Blade into Arteezy, who was cold and braced up. The Death Requiem will pop, and in fact now, it's Fnatic with the expensive buybacks. They are pushing EG away. They go after Samel, and there's no shield. Samel will drop as well. The bottom racks remains alive, and EG, they just, even though the buybacks were there from Fnatic, EG just gave so much back to them.
That was very expensive for Fnatic. That's still a mega win for EG. Like, the kills they get are mitigated a lot by the buyback gold penalty. Black finding this kill on Samel is not worth very much.
PPD is trapped. He doesn't have a TP scroll.
Uh-oh.
He's behind enemy lines. It could end up being a full team wipe if they could see him. He's gonna Arctic Burn down.
But that's still, you can just look at the gold graph and see what happened there. Like, these buybacks and all the gold that EG claimed from this fight are...
The Courier. Courier's in. Okay, high PPT. He tried to play the vision game. The Light Striker Raid's gonna connect, and there's gonna be Mushi with a... Okay, Glimmer. PPD, back to the Arctic Burn, keeps the run going. While it's happening, of course, Black is beating into the tower, but Yelena just popped Laguna Blade, didn't find a kill.
Why did
PPD is now
attacking?
going to smoke and now get out. It was a Glimmer Cape. He lost vision.
Didn't he glimmer after the Laguna?
Yep.
I mean, he used Light Striker Ray, Dragon Slave, and then he stood and looked at PPD for a second, and then started attacking. He might have thought that the Glimmer already came, so he didn't want to waste Laguna into it, but I don't know. I'm not sure if he could have killed him either way. That just looked a little strange to me.
That's a big time waster.
Yep.
Because while he was chasing him, like, the tier 2 tower only lost half of his life. That was the one opportunity that Fnatic was going to really have to have a big impact on the map. They take out one of these tier 2 towers. So next time, if they are capable of winning a fight against EG without a whole bunch of buybacks, they would be able to do a counter push. but it's just not there. With 3 buybacks on cooldown, only Wisp and SD with all 3 of your cores from Fnatic bought back. Black now sees Tiny, but he can't initiate because there's no Blink Dagger. The money you expended, Black gets BKB to go with his Yasha, who can stand during the fights.
If EG take another bad team fight, then we're talking. But
yeah. Until that point, though,
they'll
it's
wait for the
EG's
next
game.
stages. I think there's no reason to commit to this push. Oh, okay, PPD getting a little bit greedy to ward here. Easy pick for Ohio. It's a little bit, but it adds up. Now they get some time.
They needed the warning though, you're saying, EG 20 for the next Aegis. PPD needed a more aggressive ward in that bottom lane. Just in the north of the pit. They might find another one. Samael on this top. He should have himself a defensive spirit available. And in fact, he does all the way down on bottom lane. So Black and DJ don't find the kill from this.
And they can't kill Samael fast enough. He went Scotty. I think it's similar logic to why we thought Arteezy would go for it, but went for Lincolns. I think this is a good choice. I wouldn't have minded seeing Samael go Lincolns as well, actually, but Scotty also a solid choice.
Okay. Septicum runs away. He can still BK BTB if he wants to. In fact, that's exactly what he's going to do. There's no damage which will kill him. They can breach that immunity.
7-second BKB now.
He's burning it. He doesn't care. She's salving up inside the base to get back out nice and quick. Doesn't want to waste any time sitting inside the fountain. I'm looking at Ohio move towards the mid lane. Arteezy's a little bit out. They'll need to relocate. And DJ has it ready, so okay, they find an easier target. They find PPD. Arteezy's not so easy with that Lincoln Sphere up and running. And now, in fact, Net, they get the purge. They won't actually require the relocate support. And Arteezy blinks himself forward, trying to beat into Net. That damage output is pretty damn high. 4 hits to kill off Net, but he only got the 3.
Seems like the strategy for Fnatic right now is find Wyvern, kill Wyvern,
Take
go
out
back,
the curse.
and do it again.
Well, the curse is the primary controller over the Wisp Tiny relocate.
Oh, what did Black buy?
He got a BKB before.
Oh, he bought a Hyperstone now. I just saw his gold go down. So it looks like QRS now is the choice. 100% agree with this. It's the way to go.
I suppose his buyback is on cooldown at the moment.
And there's one thing we haven't talked about so much, and it's the fact that Ohio is actually getting pretty big on this Tusk, and this hero can pose a threat to a hero like Shadow Fiend, where you usually, in professional games nowadays, see Tusk as a utility. Mostly support, sometimes offlane, but you go for Guardian Greaves. This game, Ohio went Phase, Deso, Blink, and almost has BKB now. These Walrus punches hurt a lot, and when there's an AC in the neighborhood, that's his next item. We're talking there's already minus 14 armor between the Desolator and the AC, or sorry, minus 12. You can't just, you gotta be a little worried as EG with how much farm Ohio's getting.
I would agree. And now with the BKB, he can stand his ground during the
force
fights, but they have to get back now. EG don't want to wait until these huge items arrive, until Black is able to finish up his Assault Cuirass. They want to push with their Assault Cuirass, with already Arteezy having the extra Demon Edge. Universe getting very aggressive looking forward, but he can. He's got Shiva's Gun and Neck and Force Staff and Ravage. You want confidence as a Tide Hunter? That's basically it right there. Net's trying to keep them back out with Poison Spam, but Arteezy, the Snowball, the Relocate's coming back in again. Can they kill Artur off in time with a Ravage? Hit so hard with the Requiem Souls. Mushy just evaporates. There's no buyback available for him, and they can just stand their ground here. EG beat into him. Black's BKB does not protect him enough. He's TPing out so close because he realized the Relocate wouldn't actually save him. He couldn't be tethered up. He'll end up dying, and that should be the game right there. Fnatic have lost their 3 cores. There's no real split push working for them. The bottom ranks will go. The mid ranks already left them before, and the top is all that remains for EG.
They don't even need to go there.
Yeah, they're just going straight for the GG push. That's it. Fnatic. There's just nothing more they can do, and they call the GG. It will be a game 3 for our first series here in the mainstream, EG versus Fnatic. And EG, they played it very calm, they played it very defensive, but they played it secure.
They were confident enough to give Fnatic their best duo in IO Tiny, and they just found the great counters they needed for it. I think, once again, for me, a lot of it comes back to the Tide Hunter, where you didn't see many great Ravages this game. The last one was very good from Universe, hit 4 heroes, was in the right place at the right time. It's just Fnatic couldn't play their lineup the way they're used to, because this Tiny,